Trading cards. What's going on, Soul World? Soul Family. YouTube Soul World. We're tuning into spread positive vibes through art. What's going on, Soul Family? You guys having a positive day? If you enjoy art and you tuned in, this is the place you need to be. Today's quick tutorial. Take an acrylic marker and go like this. Done. You're welcome. What's going on, Unlocking Paradoxes? I'm doing well. How about yourself? It's good to see you. Not bad, just working on some stuff. That's good, that's good, that's good to hear. Hope you accomplish whatever you're working on today. Just gonna be working on a few pieces and then get back to some other things and then tune back in later as well. Gotta do a quick soul check-in, make sure everybody's doing soulful. Likewise, it's always good to get to chat and watch you create art. That's awesome. It's always good to see you along my current journey. You're like right in the beginning of my live stream, getting back into it as often as I have been. Thank you again for inspiring me to start creating it. Yo, that's awesome. I'm glad I was able to inspire you. But that inspiration was already inside of you. I've been taking a hiatus from it, and it's definitely affected me. Hey, as long as you're doing something progressive. That's dope, though. I'm glad that you were able to find some type of inspiration for real. That's pretty cool. Been drawings that I had started last year. That's dope. You should post it on my community page so I can see them whenever. Whenever you decide they're completed. Eventually, I will probably color them with Sharpie, but at the moment, it's all black ink. Okay, that's dope. I like starting with black ink. You're not constrained by the color palette at first. You could choose your own, depending on your mood at the time. What's going on, Kuhan Loka? What's going on, sis? Said, hey, Booski, love, love the art. Yeah, I was about to say, wait, what? Appreciate it. Just drawing off the top of my head. Just working on two pieces at the same time with the same color palette, same flow, same thoughts, but intertwining them together. The thought of that is like let's say if I'm trying to get through something, it doesn't end usually with one thought. It ends, it's a continuous progression. So doing two pieces at a time, a lot of times, just amplifies that process. So I decided just to use two color palettes. I mean, same color palette for both. Same process, same thought. I see they look mirrored. Yeah. Thank you. I did a few pieces like that yesterday on paper. I have similar pieces like that on canvas, but I've never used the same palette within the series, so that's something I'm going to continue doing within other series. Is make like 100-piece series just with the same palette, but all different thoughts, all different figurative expressions, different art to express whatever I'm trying to express at that moment. So do you like rough work before you do? So do you like? No, this is all off the top of my my head. My apologies. I got a phone call, so I missed what you said after. I should post it on your page. Oh no, I just said like when you're finished, if you feel like you would like to, you could share it on my community YouTube page. But no, I don't do rough. I don't do what you would call like sketches and then go in with like canvas works or things like that, and go based off the sketches, more freehand like I'm doing now. And then I have sketchbooks where I do the same concept, but when I go into my canvas work, I go in with a fresh outlook. But then as well, along my journey, I'll study all my works, and implement certain ideas and certain things that I did within these works, into larger scale pieces, because this allows me to get like, for instance, for somebody who actually sketches and tries to get out new ideas, these are my new ideas, in the present moment. And I'm also creating new ideas when I'm creating canvas work. But when I'm studying my overall work like this, it allows me to get a bigger picture, and to allow myself to implement certain things that, I didn't implement before prior to this, and then take that into a larger scale, work. So everything is intuitive, um, but in this stage, like in this stage of my journey, I call it intuitive, conscious. So a conscious and an intuitive conscious process, because part of it is intuitive, but the conscious part is knowing the vision and the outlook that I want to achieve at the end, and it won't be done till I achieve that vision. But the intuitive part is this aspect, and then going with the flow. And then, sometimes I'm going based off of my emotions. Sometimes I want to, touch on a subject that maybe I've been through in the past, or maybe currently. Everything's not in the current. I like to touch on my past experiences up until my present, and even my future outlook, and put that into my works, and just reflect. Sometimes when I'm creating, I don't even know, what the point of that piece is, until maybe I'm in the middle of that work, or towards the end, and then I decide like, oh, okay, this makes sense to go this way with it. How you go through a flow and it all forms together. So yeah, let me read. Hold on. So do you like? Oh, sorry for the. Yep, the profile pictures. My favorite painting I've done. I love these as well. The way you use acrylic sticks is inspiring, and how you go through a flow and all forms together. I feel that using all mediums as if it is an extension of yourself. Exactly, like a swordsman with paint. 100% like that. I think of myself like Bob the Builder. You know what I'm saying? Everything doesn't need to go in with like making sense. That's why I love my process. And, I don't know, for me, like when you're just comfortable in your process, everything starts to feel like one. It starts to feel like you. And my whole goal is to always try to be original as best as I can, through that process. But yeah, it's an interesting process, because along that way, you do have to have times where you're conscious about, like, I think, where you want to go with the piece, or, um, yeah, sometimes you just need to. It's good to have that nice visual aspect. Like, I like that, like a swordsman with a paint. Mirroring the piece is also very cool, not easy. So technically, I'll be honest, I wasn't per se going to like mirror, like, this is definitely, I mean, obviously you could see the comparison, whatever, but the geometry of it is not the same. Like, I could tell you that right off the bat. But I get what you're saying. The mirror aspect of the two pieces. I don't really have an intention doing this, but like, it just started off like this. I think I'm gonna go with that flow, like just kind of like making the same piece, but not worrying about the geometry of it. Or else I would have a, ruler, um, and see how they turn out emotion wise. and see the indifferences that they'll have in the end as well. This one I can tell it is already smaller than this one. This one's taller. So they have indifferences just like real life. It looks like a series or something. Yeah, so that's another. Yeah, so a lot of my works now are based off of series and collections and things like that. A lot of my canvas work. So when you see that, you'll be able to see them in series and, like I said, in collections. I'm doing the same thing along the way with different 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 tools and things like that. Um, what's it called? Losing my thought. Going with the same process. Basically making collections, like I said earlier, intertwine with each other and just go from there with the flow. Unintentional. I like unintentional artwork. There's a time and place for unintentional artwork, and then there's a time and place for intentional. If you ask me though, all of my work is intentional and unintentional. Is that they're both um it's intertwined. The using acrylic sticks over the past years, that was there was a point where I started creating acrylic sticks on paper to be able to create quickly like this, and I started embracing quickly like this in order to get my thoughts out quickly. So I'm able to get through those quote unquote moments where you mess up or you're doing trial and errors and you're trying to get ideas out rather than working on a canvas piece and then sitting on a piece for however long you sit on it, and then you work on the next piece. Before you know it, you're only in 5 pieces in, and that's nothing. You have so much thought, so much vision to put out, so much to really figure out. This allows me to create hundreds of pieces at a time. Like, for instance, this week I made over 120 pieces on YouTube Live on paper. So that alone, and each one is different. So that's 120 pieces, all different ideas, all different out of the norm things that, obviously you're gonna see certain repetition things that you might see in other works. But the point is that for me, that's 120 thought pieces for me to expand on if I want to, learn from, and they are part of my artist journey as well. They're art pieces within themselves. They're a piece of my diary. If anything, they're the most important piece of any canvas work. Thanks, that's amazing. Yeah, no problem. What's up, Amina? Oh, we got 5 minutes, so we gotta say what's up. What was the hardest medium for you throughout the journey, and which year are the most important, the most productive? Oh, you getting me? That's not like complex, but for like this current live, definitely not touching on that aspect, but I will touch on that. Let me screenshot that, and I like that. Let me see again though. What was the hardest medium? The hardest medium though, I don't want to say the hardest medium. The medium that didn't come easiest at first is oil. Oil paint, I would say. But I want to utilize more oil paint throughout my journey. But I love acrylics, and I love my mediums that I use currently, and spray paints and everything else. But which years are the most important and the most productive? Actually, you know what though? That's actually very easy. I'm just trying to go in depth with it. So I don't need to go in depth with it. The most important years of me creating, I would say, would be 2015 when I was graduating college, So like, and then I always say 2016 because I was already starting at my artist journey during that time. Like this way, at least I was already doing photography and fashion before then. But as an art therapy and being conscious of that, and although everything was an art therapy within itself, all of that brought me to to this. Um, but I would say 2016, and then the most productive would be the end of 2021 up until now. So all of these works is the most works that I've ever created, and it's a lot of canvas works in my eyes, and just like the extensiveness. But I could be biased as well. But then again, each one has a story, and they all mean something to me. And sometimes there's certain pieces that aren't going to mean as much to me, but every piece in this collection from these 4 years since 2021, especially 2022. So really, 2022 when I came back here, trying to get out my thoughts and, you know, uh, thing getting flooded out of Florida or whatever, trying to get through that and trying to process that. It just kind of shifted certain things or whatever. And I was at that period of my, artist journey of flow, and that kind of, shifted little things, and it ended up being the best time up until now. And then now I'm just going with the flow. At 10:20, I gotta go back. I will listen to my headphones. No problem. I've been wanting to do that, like yin and yang. Yup. So for 4 or 5 years, you have been creating prolifically. That's very good. I've been creating for 10 years, since 2016. But for me, I feel like it was 2021 where I told myself to just do what you were already doing in 2016, just better at that point, because years went by. But that was the point where I was like, you got to be more, just be yourself. And then after that, it was just go. And since then, it's just been beautiful. As part of everybody has a different journey, so it's like me going along my journey. I'm trying to learn how to explain that journey as well along the way. It's not so easy to explain it sometimes while you're going through it, until you're able to reflect on it. Keep up the amazing work. You're doing great. I'll see y'all tonight. I'll see you tonight, Amina. Thank you. That's very good. Yeah, it's a journey. Like life. That's why I call it my spiritual journey. I mean, really, this is what brought me back to faith. Art gave me hope. Or it gives me hope sometimes, when you need it. Take it. Yeah, I hope you have a good day too, Amina. I hope everybody has a good day. So I actually answered the question. I just wanted to get in debt, but no need to get in debt all the time. If you got the simple answer. No problem, Unlocking Paradoxes. I hope you have a good day. My bad for asking a lot. Nah, you good. And enjoy learning from others who inspire me. Now you good, Paradoxes. I'm learning how to get better at just being in the present and being able to explain my works, coherently as best as I can without feeling redundant. I have to remember not everybody's aware of your story. So I love the questions. Keep asking them. I don't want to make you feel like you're not allowed to ask. But ask all the time. Sounds good to me. Yes. Go off. You can ask as many questions as you want. Tonight I'll be on as well, so feel free to ask some questions tonight. Should be on later, late. If not, you got a lot of time. Still a living artist. It's very rare. Uh, do you believe in like feeling or experiencing color? It's a random. I have to check. So I don't know. You know, like smelling like smelling colors and other. So no, I can't say I smell colors. I'm not. Um, I think these are more intuition than looking like so deep into it. You know, like I just connect with colors. So you know, I just put colors together. Like I've some people will tell me that I have a good eye for putting colors together. Personally, like I like colors. I wouldn't say that I'm like this epiphany in the moment is kind of just a natural, you know, thing if that's similar to that. But if what you're saying has to do with like smelling colors and things like that, no. I can I can envision images within my head. Like there's a lot of times maybe I'm going into something and I see it within me and I don't know what term that would be, but that's just I think that's just being a creative. But I embrace that aspect to create art. Ba-da-ba. Uh-uh. Shout out to Cafe Bustelo. Oh man, so good. It was a period of my artist journey where I was making Cafe Bustelo art. Matter of fact, I think I have one over here. I do. That's based off of that. Isn't it right here? Or did I put it? Yeah, it's right there. This one was in 2020. I forgot. I mean, technically 2020 was my state, but we'll talk about that another time. Was it you who asked that? Unlocking? Yes, it was. Sorry, I'm like losing my track here. But I made this one in 2020, right? Just based off of Cafe Bustelo, and I had this in my kitchen in my coffee section for my personal. This is like this is a big part of where I started consciously putting these little frame outlines during that period. And there's a lot of things. Let me see this. Yeah, I like this because I love my donuts and I just love my Cafe Bustelo. I'm definitely going to do a collection about Cafe Bustelo. I remember the other day that you were saying that they should make art a religion or something of that equivalency. Okay, well, no, I mean, I don't remember exactly, but I don't think I meant it that way. I think I meant like community based. I got to think about more about that time, or something of that equivalency, and I agree with that. Art and music and skateboarding have a way of connecting. So yeah, there definitely should be more. My thing is there should be more community based centers within each city to amplify the art scene and music scene for children and all ages. But it should start with kids because they're a blank slate. People together, and race and religion and orientation, all those beliefs don't matter. It's all inclusive and meant to connect people. That's beautiful. Yeah, look, I don't like my work to be religious whatsoever. I believe, like you said, inclusivity. Everybody's allowed to go about their life how they please, and that's okay. I learn from everybody. I try to be open to everything and try to learn from everybody as best as I can. Should I need be, right? Take things that you can learn from, and throw away things that don't suit you in your personal life. But for me, my work represents my own personal spiritual journey, um, and I wanted to show others that you can create light and create through that darkness. It's that yin and yang, like I spoke about with you. If anything, I've had more connections through my art in person, um, just like this on live, that made me realize more of my journey purpose or end purpose when I'm done creating a so-called art piece is being able to connect with at least somebody else through that work. And for me, it's the overall message and the overall visions, but of course, individuality brings you back to individual pieces that you connect with at certain periods of your life. So that's how I look at it. Like community galleries that support local artists and free play. Correct. There's a lot of cities that do that, but it's not prevalent in every city is what I mean. My city wasn't prevalent in that art scene, but I guarantee if it was, or I grew up like in New York or certain areas that were a little bit more heavy in the art scene, I probably would have what's it called? I would have endured more in my art side younger, right? But that wasn't something for me that and also I think nowadays, because you have the internet, sometimes you don't need that community um to find yourself within that creative field, because you have the inspiration to come from online. But that's a whole different thing. We still need connection. We still need those. And although they're out there, I'm just saying, like, every city should have at least something. Art is usually the odd one out. Like, you'll have community centers based off of other things, but not art, music, um, interest based like this. You have sports, but you don't have art organizations everywhere. That's something, if I was able to do one day, I would definitely open up a community. It's always been a dream, but it stands at a dream on unless stars align or whatever. But it would be dope to have, like, in multiple cities where you have storage units, and have a storage unit area where you're using all of the storage units for personal galleries for artists to rent out monthly, or whatever the case may be. How many storage units do we need? That's something that would be amazing. They have similar things, not garage. I mean, not what I'm talking about. Like, in certain cities near me, but they're a little farther, and they're still more. They're not as contemporary as I'm talking about right now. Or as affordable for the everyday, you know, person who maybe just wants a place to have sacred. I agree with you. All cities should have parks, and our centers get parks. Yeah, and if my town has an, I mean, I've seen like our center places, but I don't think they're like our centers per se, like that. They're like, I mean, it's different, you know. I think maybe they're more based off of children or kid camp type art community centers. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. But I'm sure they're like that. But I'm sure they're very inclusive in that sense. Like, for the kids who are talented already at that age at art, because there's a lot of talented artists at such young ages, so they have a lot of programs for those gifted individuals, gifted kids. But I'm talking about for everybody. As an overall art therapy, that's really what it comes down to. Just a place for people to express themselves. Graffiti walls, like Florida. Miami has that. I personally didn't know when I lived in Florida that Miami actually has walls that you can go there and graffiti on. That's what I would have done that every time. You could have had a whole. You can literally build a whole portfolio of graffiti if you're a graffiti artist, just doing that legally. You know, if that's what you wanted to do. I'm just making a point though. Like, Miami's fire for that. But during that time when I was living in Florida, I was still finding myself as an artist. So it's like that wasn't. It was always in the back of my head. Now I wish, at this point it's different. I wish, I had that, like, 3 hours away to be able to just go with it. Um, Things happen. Make more opportunity for people to express it. Exactly. But they're just ideas. They're just, thoughts. It's not like, if one day I could help um, bring something like that to a city, I would, with the right funding or things like that. Who knows? I think it's a great idea. I don't believe a city. I believe if you propose that to a city, with a good city plan and plan to get funding or something, I think it's a good idea, you know? Of course, you need the right security in line and everything. You can't just... Because I could see a lot of stupid shit, people ruining, ruining things like that for other people. So that definitely wouldn't be a cheap thing to do. I don't feel like you need security. Definitely, need all the stuff to make everything safe, which is all possible. Like I've heard of some cities allowing their local storage units to be used. In Florida, they have certain areas like that I found out that you can use certain storage units for like band practice, or some people use it for an art studio. But you should just have a whole storage unit where artists can rent out for that purpose everywhere. But I've heard of that in Florida. Waste the money, yeah. That some cities always cover graffiti. Yeah, for real. Yeah. It does. It looks horrible. I'm always laughing like, bruh, like y'all could have done a better job. Like you should have just hired the graffiti painter to paint over his work and fix it for you. Near me, they don't paint over it. Some cities, no. Yeah, it depends. I think if it's what's it called? You can't have like, I don't know. I appreciate all art, but like, I don't know if I want, like, if I had kids and like there was something that was like out of the crazy. I don't know. I don't even know an example. So all art should be available. All graffiti, political, everything. At the end of the day, bro, it's a free world. Like if you can't handle a message, just look the other way. But art's not for everybody. Cities should just hire more graffiti artists. But allow them to express themselves freely. In my opinion, I think that they should allow mirrors to be used. I don't know. Can you argue graffiti as a type of, or mural is a type of graffiti? If you're using graffiti as the style to make the mural? I hear people debate about that. Because graffiti really is illegal. Like, that's just what it is. There's no fine line between that. Then there's mirror work, but then there's using graffiti within the mirror work, graffiti styles. Yep. I don't know. I heard somebody say that too, and it's true. I mean, graffiti technique, everything is graffiti is supposed to be culturally illegal. It's supposed to tag. It's supposed to make an impression. I just mean that instead of people painting over the graffiti with primer, like you said, you should hire like yeah, yeah. But at the same time, that would be ridiculous to like cover up graffiti and then hire graffiti artists to do their artwork over that. It's almost like a diss because in the graffiti world, you're not supposed to like do graffiti and then be a like let's say I do graffiti and another graffiti artist comes along and tags over my work. That's technically in the graffiti world like a diss to the other artist. So I don't know. That could bring issues on the low. Nah, nah, it probably wouldn't honestly, but because to be honest, actually, what you just said, I've heard other cities doing that, but I still find it ridiculous. You should have just left the original artwork if you felt it was appropriate. But like I said, I feel like art is art, and whether what you deem is inappropriate, the other deems purposeful and powerful, and a message. So I don't know. I worded that badly. Nah, you worded it fine. You worded it exactly how you wanted to word it. It makes sense. I just feel, I feel the same way. I just feel a little differently too. I'm in between. Yeah, I agree. That's disrespectful. Yeah. But that's something that I learned later on after researching, just learning more about the graffiti scene. It doesn't look right if I don't do this. It's too... It gives it more of a texture on paper. It also depends on the piece, but these have been feeling like I need to go that way with it. Sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes you just got to do it because you feel it. My phone is going to die most likely, but I'll catch up on Unseen. Definitely unlocking. I appreciate you tuning in. It was good seeing you. Thank you for showing love and connecting and forcing me to explain more of my art process. Come back with some more questions for next time. Some good ones. Some other good ones, I mean. You've been asking great questions. It allows me to think more. I appreciate you for taking your time to speak with me today. No, I appreciate you for taking your time out and joining me on my artist session, for real. Thank you. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you, and likewise. Take care. Take care. Appreciate everybody who's tuned in as well. If you appreciate these two artworks or if they connect with you, I definitely would love to know. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you can continue to join me on my living artist experience. I'm not dead yet. Let's hope for a very long time before after I get to show the whole world as much as I can.